Hello everyone and welcome back to Do You Even CSGO, the best weekly CS tips series in your sub box. This week I'll be taking you through the magic and mystery of config files, so let's dive in. In layman's terms, a config file is simply a document containing a bunch of console commands that a game reads and then executes. These commands can be anything from crosshair parameters to server settings and will enable you to customize your settings to a far greater degree than the normal options menu allows. But Raptor, I hear you say, that sounds like some really boring nerdy shit. What on earth has this got to do with me? Well, my dear viewer, I'm glad you asked. Config files are so useful because they allow you to simultaneously execute a bunch of commands without having to painstakingly type them into the console. This means that you can have one config for normal play, commonly called an Autoexec, one for aim practice, one for practicing grenades. Frankly, the possibilities are as endless as my jokes about the NA Pro scene. So how do you go about making one of these wonderful creations? Firstly, you need to navigate to the folder where CSGO is installed, which for most people will be on the C drive. Go to Program Files x86, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, and open up the Global Offensive folder. From here, head into CSGO and then CFG. This is where all the executable .cfg files are stored. All of the settings you've chosen in the in-game menu are stored in config.cfg, but we're going to bypass this by creating our own. So right click, make a new text file, call it whatever you want, and open that bad boy up. Now at this point you could start typing away and make your own config from scratch, but if I explained every last command in this video, we'd be here for really quite a while. So to save you some time, I've linked my own personal config in the description. You can either copy and paste the whole thing, or just pick and choose certain elements, but it should give you somewhere to start. Incidentally, a lot of professional players' configs are available online, and a lot of CSGO YouTubers make their own configs available as well, if you'd prefer to start there instead. If it wasn't obvious already, each line here represents a console command in-game, except where I've put slashes to tell the game to ignore my titles. These are the key bindings I use for competitive, including special keys for buying weapons and equipment, but I'll be doing a whole episode on useful binds later in the series. You've also got a few of the game and mouse settings I mentioned last week, as well as networking commands to optimize your connection to servers, radar settings, and custom crosshair and view model parameters. To get your own crosshair and view model settings into your config, just copy and paste the commands from the generator I showed you before, and you'll be good to go. You can even customize things like how much your weapon bobs while running, but I won't go into the finer details here, so check the description for more info. As soon as you're done customizing, hit save as, choose all files, and be sure to change the file extension from .txt to .cfg. Then load up the game, open your console, and type exec followed by the name of your custom .cfg file. Bam, settings applied. You can also make the game execute your config automatically every time it launches by going into the game on Steam, opening properties, then launch options, and typing +exec followed by the name of your file, but bear in mind that this is a tad unreliable. Whilst having an auto exec for competitive is great for extra customization and keeping all your settings safe, the power of CFG files is the ability to switch between them on the fly. Let's say you're tired of Russian teammates in MM and you want to practice some grenade throws, but you can't face typing in all the SV and MP commands to set everything up properly. Make yourself a grenades config, something like this, that does it all for you, jump in an offline match, and execute away. And that's about it for custom configs. Like a lot of things in this series, they're a brilliant feature that's unfortunately completely invisible to the average player, so I hope you chaps found this useful. You can even chuck your personal config on a USB stick or upload it to the cloud and have all your custom settings ready to go next time you're around a friend's house. It really is that simple. Don't forget to tune in next week when we'll be taking an in-depth look at the smoke grenade, and if you have any suggestions or questions, please do scribble away in the comments below. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you on the next one.